And I'd like to just share with you a few thoughts about, if you're really serious about winning. And we've taken this very seriously since the year 2000. We've really made a strong effort. In the year 2000, my son brought it to my attention that we ended up carrying a penalty on our rating certificate, which we really didn't deserve. It had something to do with the fact that we had a movable baby stay, which really isn't true. It's a fixed baby stay. So we started trying to clean up our ratings. And the people who really are able to help you do that is U.S. Sailing. And at that time, we were dealing, I believe, with Dan Nolan. Today, Jim Teeters, I think he's in-house. Jim has been extremely helpful in that behalf. Additionally, that was our first step, and we realized back in the early years of this century that there's a lot of things you can do in terms of taking a long, hard look at your rating. I know you guys are the Navigators, and Navigators necessarily don't have to pay the bills, but the skippers pay the bills. However, they do take advice from their Navigators, and that's your role, I hope. Anyway, I thought the first thing that was critical was to have a well-prepared boat. And everything had to work, including the bilge pump. And thank God my pump worked, because we had more water coming in the boat. I think we had maybe half of the North Atlantic in our boat at one time. And then we had an interesting phenomenon occur. Because of the location of our exit point for the bilge pump, we were actually siphoning the water back in as soon as it got pumped out. So my pump was working continuously. It'd pump it out, and the ocean would come back in. Then we'd pump it out again, and the ocean would come back in again. So we finally corrected that issue. But if you don't have a well-prepared boat, and again, that's something your skipper's got to deal with, you've got to work on that. The second thing I thought would be to optimize your ratings. And you really got to do that through U.S. Sailing if you don't have some super-duper other folks to deal with. Jim has helped us out on that. He gave us a variety of options in the optimizational program where we picked our boat with a spinnaker pole, our boat without a pole, our boat with a bowsprit, our boat with a longer pole, our boat with bigger ASIMs, and we ran all of the computer models, and we ended up selecting the one we thought would be most appropriate for this race. So we really have a rating that's suitable for the Bermuda race, and I'm thinking that that might be the same that we'll do if we do this race in 2010. But if you're not, if your guys are not involved in that, that's something you really ought to think about. I was appalled to hear that we were the only boat in the entire fleet. And we're talking 220 boats that use U.S. Sailing's optimization program. I think there's something wrong. Either the word's not getting out, or the skippers are just behind the curve. You guys figure that one out. The next thing I think you have to do is you got to put together a crew. And I know as navigators, you guys really may not be involved in that. But as a skipper, I'm involved in that. And I put together what I consider probably the best crew, well, it's definitely the best crew that has ever sailed with me to Bermuda. Okay, the other thing I neglected to mention was sales. And I know you guys don't put out the money for the sales, but there is a great sailmaker down in the Havre de Grace area of Maryland called Skelly Ullman. And this is truly a secret. Gary Jobson said I should write a book and put it in all my secrets. I'm letting this one out prematurely. Eventually, when I write a book, if I ever do, that will definitely be in there. But Skelly is great at helping you design your sails, especially ASIMs. And Peter warned me not to say too much about ASIMs. He said that was a bad move to make. But anyway, Ullman Skelly is a great group. The last thing you need after putting the boat together, making everything work, including the bilge pump, after getting a great crew, after having great sails, after doing all your optimization programs, is you need luck. And if you don't get that, you don't win. Okay, so with everything else, if the luck factor fails, you may fail. Thank you.